Welcome to This Shit Ain't Easy with Holly and Chris, and we're super excited to have you here today. Today, it's simply just Chris and I, and we're going to be talking about how we got started renovating homes, and specifically how we started the show Flippin It with Holly and Chris, and how we took that over into other aspects of our listings. So let's get started.
Yeah, let's do it. It ain't easy.
No, it's not.
So when we started, you told me, let's film this shit. And it wasn't easy.
Well, okay, to be fair, the filming part was easy except for the realities, because before that we had scripted videos and that type of thing. So I think what really changed for us is, one, doing reality TV, which was actually kind of fun, but then me kind of changing the narrative of how the renovation was going to go.
Yeah, that was a big deal. Yeah, doing the reality was fun. The only problem was anytime we wanted to do anything, we had to wait for parts and then for a film, for the videographer.
Yeah,
and it just
true.
put everything off, and it took forever.
Yeah. Well, how long did it take?
I think the entire pandemic.
True.
Year
Very
and a half,
true.
2 years. We're not done.
Actually, we started way before. Well, we started halfway through the pandemic because we were here in the house, and then we decided to do a few things, and we had the leaks. So that's how it really started. And we learned a lot.
Yes. It's been over a year and a half.
Yeah.
Maybe
I think
closer to.
Yeah. It's actually been a year since we've back in the house. We've been back in the house almost a year, which is wild to think about because time certainly flies.
Jeez, that's a long time.
Yeah, we moved in right after Labor Day, so it's almost been a year we've been back. And the kitchen isn't done.
There's still blue tape up there.
Yeah, so that's a problem.
Get that off.
So anyways, what I was going to say is I think the combination of my background in building and your background and just being extremely handy Smurf,
Just getting shit done.
it kind of helped.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I just had to go after stuff I've never done before, like other things I'm going to be doing.
Like what?
Roof.
Yeah, that's your new challenge. Thank you. I mean,
I'm a little afraid.
well, we
Have
did
to
buy
say.
a house, and it was, gosh, how old is it now, this house?
1960, so we're looking at 63 years.
It's pretty old.
Yeah.
Who knows how old the roof is, but I think it's going to be fun. However, the one person that's been doing all the homework on how to do the roof is going back to college, so that's going to be a problem.
Wait, he's been doing homework?
Yeah, remember he said he knows exactly how to lay the roof and everything. The producer of the show.
He's literally waving us off. He's like,
Yeah. So I'm sorry about changing the trajectory of what we decided to do with the kitchen, as we now currently sit in the dining room that used to be the kitchen. But what do you think some of the biggest challenges were in what we did?
Well, the first was learning what we were going to do. It started with we were going to kind of take out part of a wall, and it was definitely a load-bearing wall.
Yeah,
Never done that before.
that was a big challenge.
A fear of mine, and probably most people's. And then it was just going to be like a cut-in window.
No,
And then
it was never going to be that.
and then it was just going to turn one of the cabinets around and open up the kitchen a little bit. It was like a galley kitchen. And then someone walked into the house.
No, it was definitely something I wanted.
Well,
I think once you get started, I think the thing that's important to remember is once you start doing renovation, it snowballs.
snowballs.
Yeah. But how do we honestly take what we did here and then envelop that into how we sell our clients' homes and get them ready for market? I think that's something that's truly unique about us
Super important.
specifically. Yeah. And how we're just not afraid to take on a challenge and get a house ready for market, which could entail painting, baseboards, flooring, appliances, you name it.
Well, what we do is we go into a house, and just like a buyer would, we look around and see what we would have to spend money on. And because we can do it quick and easy and inexpensive, it gets our seller a lot of money.
Yeah, the
Easily-
ROI is good.
Yeah, we could easily put $2,000 to $5,000 into a house and honestly get another $50K out of it.
Yeah, I think we saw that with our first project. And then we just
Sale.
continued on from there. Yeah, the Calabasas project was super fun. And then we created great relationships with our vendors, and we're able to use them on pretty much every project we have.
Yeah, flooring, paint, drywall, whatever we need, they jump for us.
Yeah, it's great. We actually met with one today.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're like on hug status. So
I know we're going to be doing a floor in the next week or two at the next place that we are listing.
yeah, by the way, he forgot his license today, so I had to go back out the gate and drive his van in.
Oh, no.
It's been a while since I've driven an E350, so thought that was kind of fun. He's like, "Oh, thank you, Ollie, so much." It's like, no problem.
Hilarious.
Yeah. I think what really is something that we love to do is really help the client, and not only just on the selling side, but also on the buying side. Can you share with the listeners what we do if we have a buyer who maybe finds a project that they think that they can tackle? How do we help with that?
Well, the good thing is having this knowledge from flipping our own house and from working on these other homes, we can
Right.
give them a lot of insight. We go into these homes and we can tell them what something's going to cost. We just sold the one house to our good Canadian friends.
Yep.
And we consulted on the flooring and the cabinets and paint and everything, offered them our resources. And honestly, I haven't seen it yet, but I know it's come out great because I know who did it.
Yeah, well, not just consulting. We literally, prior to close of escrow, lined up the painter, the flooring person. Everybody was dialed in so that the minute we closed escrow, they went to work. And this isn't the first time we've done that. And we have our cottage cheese scraper / painter. We really just get everything dialed in. We had a scenario on our first podcast we talked about where we got the people, our dear friends now, really lined up and set up right when they're having their second baby.
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
They were searching for a house for a year, and when they found us, she was pregnant.
She was
had to
very
rush.
pregnant.
We had to rush.
Yeah. So I think that actually is kind of the exciting part about what we do, is helping buyers really realize the equity that they can put into the home really quickly and get in there and start living and making their house a home. And I think that's what's really important, is for buyers to see, whether we're listing a house or helping somebody buy, how quickly we can make the house look sharp.
And at good price, because most people walk into a house and they see old yellowed outlets and they think it's going to cost 10 grand to replace.
Yeah.
And honestly, you can get 20, 30 outlets for $15,
Definitely.
$20.
What are some of the experiences that we've had that have been a little bit challenging?
Well, actually, the biggest was Palm Springs, Rancho Mirage.
Yes. Rancho Mirage.
So we get the loan just cleared, ready to go. We're
Appraisal's
closing.
done.
Everything's done. Contingencies are dropped.
2 appraisals, actually, because it was a jumbo loan.
So last minute, the lender says, sorry, new condition, when all the contingencies are already dropped and we're 3 days from closing. And what it was this was a half renovated home, and there was no cabinet doors.
Yeah.
And amazing that's the problem with this house.
Non-fundable without doors.
Given all the other stuff that was going on in this house,
Exactly.
the cabinet doors.
Yeah, so just so you know, if a house doesn't have cabinet doors,
Not going to appraise.
yeah.
Weird. Anyways, so within 10 minutes of getting that message, I think I was still on the phone as I'm packing tools into my truck.
Yeah, I think it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yep.
And we're how far away from Palm Springs?
It was a Rancho Mirage, so we're good, 2.5, 3 hours.
Yeah.
So fly out there, and I relax for a moment. The buyer brings me In-N-Out Burger.
Shout out to Charles Romero from the
Charles.
agency Palm Springs. We love you.
Yes, he brings me In-N-Out Burger. So I sat down and had a good meal. Rush off to Lowe's, buy a bunch of wood and hardware. And I was literally sawing wood in the dining room in the house next to the guard gate. I was scared.
In a high-end luxury
High-end.
gated community.
It was the scariest thing ever. I thought there's guards knocking on the door every 5 minutes. So I put all these doors on. I slept for an hour and came home. Left the house at I think 7 a.m.
You don't mind not sleeping. That's the
I
weird
love
part.
it.
We should, listeners should know.
I love it.
You are a zombie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
So what
nighter.
happened?
Well, we got the call these doors don't look good because they weren't. They were half-assed doors, but they were well fit. They opened and closed, and
impressive, actually.
it's not like I mitered the edges and made angles and
And
smoothed
then
everything out.
finished them and put handles on them.
They opened and closed, and then
But-
we said that's what we want, and they cleared it.
I think there was a question at first, though. I remember something like they were like, "Oh, well,
Yeah, because they weren't
yeah,
nice.
yeah."
It's not like I took oak and laser cut it.
And they didn't care because obviously they were tearing everything out, so it didn't matter because the renovation had started 10 years ago. So by the time we got there, everything was outdated. That's the crazy thing. Things in a house are so quickly outdated. Like fads go in and out so quickly, like shoes and clothes in a house. It's silly. Like, I don't know, 2 years ago, I think gold was kind of hot in fixtures in a house. That's done.
Really?
That's like brushed brass gold.
It's gold.
My point is things go in and out very quickly, so there's no way to really keep on top of it unless you're renovating your home every 2 to 5 years, which nobody does.
Yeah.
So I think one of the things that's important to know is we go really neutral when it comes to preparing a house for sale. Some of the things we do is very matte black door handles, obviously very white outlets. Everything is very clean. We try to go with the trend as far as lighting goes, as far as basket lights and
You want it to be
things like that.
modernish, but you want it to be kind of still open to be adjusted by the
blank
buyer.
canvas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's worked out well for us. We really enjoy doing it, and it's something that we can offer our clients that not every agent does. We're super hands-on. We've probably been made fun of for
We have.
being not super fancy. So, but we love it. Like today, for instance, we literally helped an agent on our team move a client into a nursing home. And it was actually so precious. And I feel so blessed to have been a part of that.
Yeah.
We even got to stage her new room and then the real work will begin when we get the house ready for sale. Because right now, like you mentioned earlier in the podcast, there's no floors in the primary. So that's going to have to be
it's all
addressed.
Concrete. Yeah, and there's a ton of furniture.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we're going to have to do an estate sale. So there's just a lot of prepping and stuff that we love doing prior to putting something on the market. And then after we do all that, we stage it physically ourselves.
Seems we get a lot of these type of clients.
We do.
We get two different kinds of clients. One is the older family that's moving out, the family that's selling, and Then we get the really freaky properties.
Oh yeah, that's
that's another one.
That's another
episode.
podcast.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that next time. But
on the shitcast.
yeah, no, this shit ain't easy. And it's just not easy because you're dealing with a lot of emotions, as most of you real estate agents know, and it can be a lot. But when you dedicate yourself to helping your client, you just go above and beyond and really help them realize, really what they can get for the home, and then just help them on to their next chapter, their next journey.
You know, it's interesting because I always think about how much we do, and it scares me how much we do. But then I think, how do these other agents get away with doing nothing?
I think about that too.
They list a property and they say, here, go take care of this.
Well, there are some homes where there's just nothing we have to do, so
Yeah.
that happens.
Seems seldom in our life.
Yeah, well, I think we just have a different attitude, so
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah.
So, go ahead. Sorry.
Push hard.
Push hard, be willing to help, and it really goes a long way. And that's it for us on This Shit Ain't Easy. Thank you for joining us on the
Thank you.
podcast, and we're super happy that you joined. Take care, guys.
Bye.